at Feed Africa, they saw that the reports corruption so consistently that even ESCOM is like, yo, give others a turn, man. Tonight, Kenya is calling out British troops for behaving like it is still colonial era. And in South Africa, a police chief has allegedly been moonlighting as Uber Black for tenderpreneurs. So before we get into it, I want to request you to just take a second and click that subscribe button. It helps a lot. Thank you. Now let's get into it. A new parliamentary inquiry in Kenya says British troops from British Army Training Unit Kenya, or BATUK, have been involved in a disturbing pattern of sexual misconduct, environmental damage, and even injuries to Kenyan workers clearing unexploded bombs without protective gear. A disturbing pattern. Not a mistake, not a scandal, a whole series. BATUK is basically Netflix, except every episode is a crime documentary. And the committee says BATUK is no longer seen as a development partner, but seen as an occupying presence. And listen, if a former colonial power started giving occupying presence energy again, that's not a military cooperation. That's a historical deja vu. Yeah. And at the center of public anger is the murder of 21-year-old Agnes Wanjiru back in 2012 near the BATUK camp in Nanyuki. For 12 years, her family and Kenyan rights groups have been fighting for justice, saying the British Army shielded suspects through the Defense Cooperation Agreement. Just last month, the man accused the soldier Robert Pakis was finally arrested in UK after nearly 13 years. 13 years of investigation? That's not an investigation. That's an eternity. Yeah, even Kenyan railways finishes innovations faster than that. On the other hand, Pakis denies involvement. Of course, denying involvement is basically the British Army's ringtone at this point. The committee report says there is widespread of sexual misconduct, including assault and soldiers abandoning children fathered with local women. At this point, BATUK has more abandoned babies than a telenovela season finale. And then there's the environmental issue, illegal dumping of toxic materials and Kenyan workers defusing bombs without protective gear. Without your protective gear? Bro, how do you send people to handle explosives with their bare hands? That's not a training. That's an unpaid audition for fear factor. Meanwhile, the UK Ministry of Defense says it deeply regrets the challenges that have arisen. Challenges, not crimes, not abuses, just challenges. Like they're talking about losing the game of Waddle. Yeah. BATUK insists it has no tolerance for misconduct, and yet somehow, mysteriously, 100% of the misconduct keeps happening. Yeah, it's the miracle of colonial mathematics. The Defense Cooperation Agreement expires next year, which means Kenya might be ready to renegotiate like a tenant who is tired of the landlord not fixing anything. And now to Ekurhuleni, South Africa, where the corruption plot is giving Netflix the police drama energy. Suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi have just been dragged before Madlanga Commission. Mkhwanazi is facing a string of allegations, and when a South African official is being accused of a string, it's never a bracelet. It's always a whole worsening line of problems. One allegation, supplying blue lights. Yes, actual police blue lights to the cause of controversial tenderpreneur Vusimusi Matlala. My brother, police blue lights? That's not corruption. That's Uber Black VIP criminal edition. Who wakes up in the morning and be like, you know what CAT needs? Not accountability, not financial literacy. No, CAT needs sirens. This raises deeper questions. Why does a tenderpreneur need police lights? Is he escorting himself to the tenders? Or he's beating the traffic because the tender expires in 30 minutes like supermarket specials? And who is Matlala? Every country has a tenderpreneur whose nickname sounds like a streetwise Marvel villain. South Africa just chose the one with a better marketing. Cat. If someone named Cat shows up to your office with police lights on his Toyota Fortuner, you already know the contract is not going to involve normal things like, stationery. It's going to be 3 million rands for mood light in the municipality toilets. Now Mkhwanazi must explain all this to Madlanga Commission, which at this point needs its own rage therapy support group. He's suspended, he's been accused of widespread rot, and now he's been asked questions like, sir, why were you issuing police lights like party favors? If the allegations are true, that's not a deputy chief. That's a blue light dealer. A police one, by the way. Meanwhile, people of Ekurhuleni are just trying to live their ordinary life like, I can't even get a municipal pothole filled, and these people are out here turning tenderpreneurs into Avengers. Yeah. So that's the situation tonight. In Kenya, people want accountability from a foreign military force that seems stuck in colonial autopilot. In South Africa, people want police leadership that doesn't loan out police sirens like a library book. Different countries, different scandals, but same African frustration. Can everybody just behave like it's 2025? Come on. Because Africa deserves partners who don't act like occupiers and the police who don't act like suppliers. I'm Gilbert, and this is Let's Feed Africa. Stay safe, stay informed, stay loud, and please, if someone offers you police blue lights tonight, ask petrol instead. It's more valuable. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm Gilbert, and thank you for watching as always. We'll be right back.